much. Today we're going to go over my League 104's final roster. I keep telling myself, I think you're good on dynasty teams, man. But I have 105 leagues. I got into another dynasty domain league. Was drafts this Tuesday. I just like testing my skill against other players, and I know the dynasty domain channel and people. I know they have their own followers, so they kind of preach what they sell them, and I just want to put my skills up against them. So League 105 is this Tuesday, uh, but today we are going to go over my 104th league, which was a slow auction draft, $500 budget, 12 hours bid nomination time. Previous episode, I had Bijan, Cook, A Chain, Kenneth Walker, and Kyler Murray. I only had $123 to fill up three more wide receiver spots. My tight end, uh, two wide receiver tight end flexes, super flex, and another wide receiver tight end flex spot. Let's actually just hop over to Tycoon and take a peek at what went on there. So Sleeper can't do the slow auction drafts. So you got to kind of do them off-site and then transfer your players over. So I'd say I had those guys on my team. So then I kind of had to bargain shop to fill out the rest of my roster spots. The first wide receiver I collected was Mike Evans, and I got Mike Evans for $14. Mike Evans is now on the San Francisco 49ers. Uh, Kyle Shanahan does his thing over there. So I feel like Mike Evans is going to have that Devontae Adams effect there. He should be the wide receiver one there, should lead the team in touchdowns. So getting Mike Evans there for $14 was a good purchase for me there. My next target was Christian Watson. Spent $24 on Christian Watson. Romeo Dobbs is gone. Datavian Wicks is gone. So less mouths to feed there. So hopefully Watson can take another step there. I think I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they said that Christian Watson hasn't even been over to 600 yards in a season yet. I'd have to double check that to see, but I don't think this app shows season's total stats. And I'm not going to go to every season and count them up. So that'd be a good one to look into. My third wide receiver was Roma Dunze. I spent $30 on Rome. I was targeting Waddle first, but someone outbid me. Then I kind of made a stand that I was going to go for Rome instead of Waddle. Would have been nice to have both, but spent 30 on Rome. Luther Burden is getting all the love, so um, I'm gonna take a shot at Rome. He was balling at the beginning of last year. My second quarterback was Malik Willis. Got him for $38. He was at $26, but people who had money were just bidding just to bid and kind of push his price up. And I needed that second quarterback, so getting Malik Willis there at 38. Look at Baker right here, goes for 33. But I made the stand on Malik there. So then I did need a tight end spot. Who was my next person? That's Jahan Dotson, Malik. Oh yeah, right here. Kyle Pitts. I spent $24 on Kyle Pitts. I could have went with like Mark Andrews and Dallas Goedert, but Pitts was still there this late in the draft, and I was like, man, Pitts just got that contract extension. I'm gonna go ahead and go Kyle Pitts here, which could be something that cost me in the end because Mark Andrews ended up going for like $4 or $5, I think, but that was way later on. But still, but yeah, Kyle Pitts, Malik, and then I spent the last of my money on Parker Washington. And he was my last starting position spot, and there was really no one after him. So I was like, should I go Parker Washington or should I go, you know, just bargain shop and then just have someone be the flex? I decided to take the chance on Parker Washington because people believe what we've seen last year, it is what it is, and he's going to be a big part of that offense. So I went ahead and took the chance on Parker Washington there. And that was all the money I had left. I had money, but my max bids on players would only be $1 per person. So I had to fill up the rest of my bench spots with $1 per person, but I was allowed to spend $2 on on one person there. Um, so not the greatest bench. I did what I could. Obviously, people had more money to outbid any player I wanted, but started with John Dotson for $1, Parkinson, Calvin Ridley, Troy. I ended up spending the $2 on Pat Fryermuth. Was listening to a podcast, and they think that Pat Fryermuth is going to have a very underrated season with Mike McCarthy in the offense, and then there's no Jonnu Smith. It's only him and Darnell Washington, and Darnell's kind of the blocking tight end. So I spent the $2 on Pat Fryermuth there with the tight end premium in the league. Took Tank Dell here for $1. I was listening to either I think it might have been JJ Zacharyason's podcast, and I think he had Rich Rebar on there. And at the very end, he was like, "All right, give me a bold projection." He's like, "I project that Tank Dell will be a top 20 wide receiver this year." So, hey, for $1, let's run it. Hollywood Brown, Ricky Hibner for the Ravens, Colby Young. I took Colby Young and Yoseva, so they'll be battling for that number 3 for the Bengals. Took Quinn Ewers to back up Malik in case Malik gets hurt. Marlon Klein for the Texans. That was a sleeper on a podcast I was listening to. Cozio, Marcus Mariota, Spencer Rattler. So just kind of just bodies there. I also did take Darnell there too. So not hopefully, if one of them gets hurt, the other one gets more reps. So let's hop back over to sleeper and take a look at that roster. And how about the Charlotte Hornets? They just traded Miles Bridges to the Suns. It was just there, but it just disappeared. The Raptors and Clippers have held real trade conversations this week on sending Kawhi Leonard back to Toronto. Dang, that's crazy. But yeah, so was this team worth the wait? I think so. I know that projections aren't everything, but this team has a 191 projection. And that's me spending all my money on the starters, not really having a deep bench. I think I'm the third highest team projection for week 1. Sean has 202. Fuji Husky has the 194. That team. So I got 2 running quarterbacks, Kyler Murray and Malik Willis. So I think they'll do pretty good here because there's there's some rushing little things in there that can help out. Rushing for a first down, rush attempts. So having quarterbacks that rush and pass could be a benefit to this league. Having running quarterbacks. Obviously, we only know Malik starting this year. We'll see what Kyler Murray does as well. I mean, they both can lose their job, but kind of gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So Kyler Murray, Bijan, A-Chain, Mike Evans, Christian Watson, Roma Dunze, Kyle Pitts, James Cook, Kenneth Walker, Parker Washington, Malik Willis. Spent all my money on my starters, and I am happy with it. I've been preaching this offseason, running back heavy approach. I've been loving the way I've been getting 4 running backs and then building the team around them. I really have liked the way those teams have looked. I mean, I know projections aren't everything. I've said it once, I say it again, but these teams from the start of last year all the way down here, last year was drafting, wide receiver heavy, trying to do the 0 RB method or hero RB method. And I've seen so much last year, and I've come into this year thinking I'm trying to do what I can to win year 1. And RBs are very thin when you get past the really good ones. So, but last year's teams, there's greens in there, but there's reds, greens, reds, greens, reds. Come on, sleeper. Greens, reds. And it goes all the way until no off season 2, which is the end of last year's team. So everything after that is all this year where I've been running back heavy approach. Unless the draft steers me in a different direction, it's been running back heavy. And I feel like there's a lot more greens than reds. I mean, there's a streak of greens like twice. We'll go two reds, and then from everything here on out, this is green. I know it doesn't mean everything, but it's showing something. So get your running backs and just build from there. I know Mike Evans is not the sexy pick. Rather have Puka there or Egbuka. Is like, but these guys, they score points. That's what you're gonna do it like this. Just get the people that score points. It might not be the sexy play, but uh, this is what I'm doing this year. So we'll see if it works out or not. I'm recording basically my own stuff. So I'll record it if I lose. I'll record it if I win. It's all learning in the process, and maybe I'll have a different method next year. But we'll see. What I want to do is show some teams in this league. So Sean, I talked about in the last drafts. I liked the way his teams were going. So Sean, he had Jamar Chase, but then he kind of saved his money, but was spending it like on, he spent like 40 something on Derrick Henry, 40 something on Christian McCaffrey, 50 something, 60 something on Jonathan Taylor. But I mean, he could have got all those players. I got Bijan for 135. So he was able to RB heavy approach, but it was like the more affordable RBs in the auction draft. So he put together a really good team. IJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, Juwan Johnson, but he has George Kittle on his bench, DeAndre Swift, Devontae Adams, Bo Nix. So definitely going to be somebody I'm competing with for sure. Yeah, George Kittle on the bench. There are some other good teams here. I think they're going against each other. Scuba Nader and John Sooth, Jaden Daniels, Scat, Bucky Irving, Drake London, T. Higgins, Jameson Williams, Brock Bowers, Chuba Hubbard, DJ Moore, Jalen Waddle, Jordan Love, Scuba Nader's team, Bryce Young, Boo, Wanda Robinson, Juwan Jennings, Zay Flowers, Sam Laporta, Rashee Rice. Please stay out of jail. Ross St. Brown, Puka Nakua, Kyron, Josh Jacobs, Pat Mahomes. Who was the second projected? Fuji Husky. Let's take a look at Fuji Husky's team real quick. Dak Prescott, Ashton Genty, Javante, CD, Justin Jefferson, Ladd, Jake Ferguson, Jalen Warren, Ramondre, Michael Wilson, Brock Purdy. Good little team there. So yeah, I'm not saying my method's the best way, but I am doing my teams like this year because I feel like it gives me the best chance of winning year one. But yeah, that's a slow auction draft, 12-hour bid nomination time. I'm in tons of leagues. I've done different types of leagues, orphans, 16 team, 14 team. But I've made a stand for this year. Like, I'm not doing any 16 team, no 14 team, just 12 team. Because, like, why do 14 if it's easier to beat, 11 other people than 13? So, what's the point? This year is all about winning year one, and that's what I'm doing. But next time, we'll talk about my 105th league, Dynasty Domain League. I think the league's full right now. We are in the process of picking draft picks. Let's see. Am I on the clock? Oh, I am on the clock. Oh, I got to pick my spot. My bad. Game tight. So spots open right now are the 3, the 4, the 9, and the 11. So it's like my strategy this year is try to get one or two to get Bijan or Gibbs. And I really haven't found what spot I like being in after that. I've been through the 3 to the 6 and getting Puka or one of the right receivers, which has been cool. But then it's like, do I want to be in the back and just go Ashton Genty or A Chain, Amari and Hampton, or just getting one of these star receivers and then going RBs from there. But I do like being right here. It's easier to get McCaffrey in the late third, early fourth. So maybe I'll be Hmm. I like to be the three just in case one of these guys don't go Bijan or Gibbs. So I think I'll go with the three spot. I think I'll go with the three spot. Yeah, let's do three. Hopefully one of these guys are like Josh Allen lovers or but then I think we voted that we wanted that they wanted it to be 4 point passing TD. See, I'm all about the six. Try to get people to be all about the quarterbacks. But yeah, we'll go three. Hopefully someone doesn't want Bijan or Gibbs. But yeah, man, we'll go over this draft. Hopefully I can record it live. If not, uh I'll chime in and hopefully it can be live. If not, we'll go over that when it's completed. Still going to go over some of my other teams as well. Um, one of my leagues that I'm thinking about doing an episode on is if Sleeper can keep up with me. I'll probably do an episode on this Geriatric Kings League. Obviously, trying to go on with the RB focus, but the draft kind of led me a different route. So we'll see how that team turns out, man. I'm not a guru. I'm just a dude who is obsessed with Dynasty, and I put a lot of time in. And we'll see how it turns out, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hit that like, subscribe, follow your boy. I'm Hutch. This is No Offseason. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.